Welcome everyone to another Tracks on Sundays. I'm Tracks the Max, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this is another summoning video. It's been like 4 and 3 weeks or something, I think, but it's just the way things are going right now. You might notice I'm wearing a shirt, which is very unusual. It's not because of the festivities. Well, it kind of is, but we had a company party for Christmas that we have every year. Um, so yeah, that's why we're wearing a shirt one time in the year, I guess. This is a free-to-play account. We pulled on this account last week. We don't have that many shards going for us here. We have more on the main account, which are also going to pull. But we are trying to get this Tormin. So we will have to pull all the shards on this account, even the mysteries. Obviously, I'm not going to do that on camera, but there is going to be an extra, what's it called? If we knock out this right here, we will get an extra sacred from here. Here we are pulling shards again, so see if we can get anything cool going for us. We also just need a lot of chickens for this account for the training event. Oh, we pulled a legendary. Cupidus. All right. That's pretty cool. There's actually a 15x for Venus going on right now, so I guess I'll put her as the wanted champion. So Cupidos is, yeah, you probably all know him. He has a pretty hard hitting A1, and it's an AoE. Damage increases by 15% if the target has any debuffs. I use this on one of my accounts to just like farm campaign, and it works really well because it, like I said, it hits very hard. So the A2 hits also decently hard and has a chance of placing an HP burn. And this self buffs himself with an attack buff and then hits one enemy. But this hits the hardest of his 3 skills and has a 50% chance of placing HP burn on all enemies for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. Can't be resisted, so you don't really need to build accuracy on him. But he's not really, I mean, you can use him in Hydra for the burn, but that's not really his main use. His main use is usually with Venus because you get Punishing Partner, so always inflict 25% more damage. That's an insane amount of damage extra. Always counterattacks when attacked, and this is only available with Venus, but obviously Venus is a Void Legendary, so that's pretty hard to obtain. This aura, by the way, is really high for, you know, just in general. Like a lot of Void have this kind of aura or even less. This is pretty high anyway. Usually it's like 30, I think, but hey, we pulled a legendary. Let's go. One of the things I'm trying to do on this account, if you haven't noticed that yet, is I'm trying to get as many legendaries as possible. That's like the only real goal I've had so far playing this account. Oh, no, please don't pull a legendary. Okay. We need to give ourselves a better shot, right? I think I already have this one, so we'll take her. Imagine pulling Venus now. That would be insane. Hold a couple. Yeah, obviously no legendary there. I guess I'll do the sacreds first. I should have put this in, by the way. I don't know why I didn't do that. Not that Cupidus is bad, but I mean, I could have chosen anything else. I probably would have went for Kymar or Duchess, so that was kind of dumb of me. I completely forgot about the 15x. That's weird. But I think I'll do this. Do I want to do this? I don't think this account has a Doom Priest. Maybe I should check that first. Do we have a Doom Priest? No, we do not. Do we have the other guy? I think we might actually have the other guy. No, we also don't have him. Hmm. So who do we think is better? I think Doom Priest is overall better for like in Doom Tower and stuff. I think I'm leaning towards this right now. Might be wrong, but all right. Let's pull these three. Then I'll pull the 50 off screen real quick, and then I'll pull the last one. 20% or 20 times now. But HAC is pretty good. I think this account already had one though. But eh, guess some faction guardians, right? Ooh, a Vergus. I'm maybe this account had a Vergus. I'm not completely sure, but also a pretty good champion. You can use him to solo the Scarab King, so that's a win. If we didn't have him at least, but I oh ah Elder Skark 20. Yeah, I don't have any shards left. You fool. All right, so what does he do again? I think he has a very hard hitting. Which one is it? I thought it was this one. Oh, maybe this one. Ah, yeah, this is a pretty good move, I believe. Like for clan boss, this can do a lot of damage. But let's just read everything real quick. Attacks one enemy, places 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack is critical. It should be critical because you want to build crit damage and crit rate on him. Places a 30% increased crit rate buff on this champion if this attack is not critical. Huh. Now that is weird though. Attacks one enemy 3 times, places an extra hit for each debuff or for each buff or debuff on the target. Can place up to 3 extra hits. So you can actually hit for you can do 6 hits with this move. That's crazy. Like add Giant Slayer to that and you're doing, a lot of damage on this move right here. Places an HP burn debuff for 2 turns and a True Fear debuff for 1 turn on all enemies if this attack places all 3 extra hits. Deals all the buffs from the target after the attack. 3-turn cooldown. You don't even need books for that, by the way. That's really nice, actually. You do get a lot of damage extra, though. Plus 30%. That's a lot. But this dude only needs 8 books. Wow. For a legendary, that's not a lot. That is really good, actually. Hey, he might be built. Let's see. The last move here places a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 3 turns. Places a fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Places a true fear debuff for 1 turn on targets under block damage buffs. That's random, but okay. Places a 30% decreased speed debuff on for 2 turns on targets under shield debuff buffs. Okay, so all enemies get fear, but block damage enemies get true feared. Decreased speed gets placed under the ones who have a shield buff, and these debuffs cannot be resisted. Also places a provoke debuff on legendary champions for 1 turn. What? Dude, this guy is actually pretty damn good, right? Places a provoke debuff on legendary champions for 1 turn. Okay, it's only 1 turn, but it's a 3-turn cooldown. And like Arena is mostly legendary champions. I mean, now you have the mythicals coming too, I guess, but more or less, you're facing legendary champions. But this is kind of good, actually. Add this hard hitting move to it, and you got yourself a champion. It's weird this guy is actually attack based with a move like this. Yeah, it's odd. All right, so as a passive, Kingslayer receives 15% less damage from legendary champions. Okay. Inflicts damage equal to this champion's attack when attacked by legendary champions. The extra hit cannot be critical. Ah, interesting. So you just want to build very high attack? Very high attack and very high HP so that you can soak up damage, or what? It's kind of, yeah, kind of weird, kind of funky, but cool nonetheless. Okay, increases ally crit rate in arena battles by 30%. That's a very juicy aura right there. Eh, kind of cool. But interesting champion nonetheless. Only 8 books. Again, that's one of the things you're looking for on these free-to-play accounts is champions that don't require many books, or at least not many legendary books. Epic books doesn't matter that much. It still matters, but a little less, right? Let's see. Did we get our points? No, we were like, yeah, like I said, 50 off there. All right. He's very good and can smack. Yeah, see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is gonna make some room real quick. Pull those 50 points from mystery shards, and then we'll get one extra shot at a Duchess. So, be right back. And we're back. Okay, so one more shot at this Duchess. I'm an idiot. I should have put that in here too. I don't know why I missed that. I don't know how I forgot. Let's just do that right now. If I somehow pull another ancient, or maybe we'll actually spend 900 gems here and get a little more, so I can ease up this mystery shard pool, because I don't really want to be pulling 1600 mystery shards. That, not fun. So let's do this sacred first, see what we get, where we end with our points, and then I'll decide if I want to spend some gems to pull a little extra. All right, so first let's get this Duchess right here. Oh my god. No, it's not a Duchess. 25%. Wait, dude, what is going on, by the way? Like, how many legendaries can we pull? Did I just pull 3? I pulled 3 legendaries. Not okay, not exactly the one that I was looking for here. Um, but yeah, let's go over his kit real quick, I guess. So, attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of filling this champion's turn meter by 10%. Also has a 50% chance of placing a perfect fail buff on this champion for 1 turn if this attack is critical. So, you can get that up to 60%. This also. It's okay. It's a fine A1, The A2 Jungle Ambush attacks one enemy, fills this champion's turn meter by 50%. It goes down to a 3-turn cooldown. Has a 100% chance of placing a stun on target for 1 turn while attacking under fail or perfect fail. 100% chance of placing sleep when attacking without fail or perfect fail. All right. And then places a perfect fail on this champion for 2 turns after attacking without a fail or perfect fail. So you already have a veil, it's going to stun the target. If you don't have a veil, it's going to try and sleep the target. And if you don't have a veil, it's also going to place a veil for two turns after attacking. And it fills your turn meter by 50%, by the way. Just like straight up. No ifs or buts about it. Just Here have 50% turn meter. That's a pretty good move actually. Essentially makes this like a 2.5 turn cooldown instead of a 3 turn cooldown, right? So, well, not bad, not bad. So this is the A3. While under a fail or perfect fail, attacks all enemies, 100% chance of placing decreased defense and weaken. Decreases the cooldown of jungle ambush by 2 turns. What is jungle ambush? This one. Wow. This is a 4 turn cooldown, I assume? Yeah, okay. So, like, let's say you go from A2 to A3, back to A2, and then you are pushed up 50% turn meter again. So, essentially, so you go A2, A3, A2. In those 3 turns, you've basically taken another extra turn, right? Because the A2 has given you plus 50% turn meter twice. Well, I guess I assume that's how it should work mathematically, but hey, it's raid, so there might be some weird coding to that I don't understand. But in my head, that's what that says, right? So A2, half a turn extra with the 50%, then go to A3, A2 again, and you get that. So that's pretty nutty, right? You're taking a lot of turns just with these two. So I think after that second A2, you won't be able to go back to your A3 yet. Probably need to do 2 A1s, I guess. Interesting kit. So passive places block debuffs and strengthen buff on this champion for 1 turn and a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns whenever they receive a veil or perfect veil. Which they're going to do a lot if the A2 just simply does that, right? And even the A1 has a chance of doing it, 60% chance of doing it, which is also pretty high. So he's he's basically buffing himself up the whole time, giving himself veil the whole time, taking a lot of extra turns. Let's see. The only real issue I see here is that he only has this A3 as an AoE. Because the rest kind of looks like you could use him in something like Hydra pretty well. But the fact that he only has one AoE skill and it's on a 4 turn cooldown. Yeah, I don't know. He gets a 23% crit rate in Doom Tower battles. Not sure where I'd use him in Doom Tower, but what do people say about him? Not the best scores. A shame, actually, because, I mean, he looks really cool. His kit sounds, you know, sounds cool, but I guess that's often an issue. Sometimes simple things like a Cupidus, it just says, here, smack on my A1. Sometimes that's just more useful than all these funky text here and not really doing much. So, but look at that. 1, 2, 3. Without many shards, really. Kind of crazy, actually. We got this going. So we're at 2660. We got 1600 shards. So let's do a quick math here on the calculator. That would put me at 4,200. We need 4,100. So yeah, I'm gonna buy some extra gems here with buy some extra shards with some gems here. There we go. And that's gonna ease up that mystery shard pulling. No shard here, no, fortunately. All right, this time we do have the Duchess thing turned on. Now, I don't expect another legendary. We just pulled one on this, so it'd be really weird. We do get an epic, another Verges. Okay. All right. Imagine another legendary. That'd be. Oh, we got the Doom Priest. So that's pretty cool. Pretty useful, I think. So why is she useful? Well, basically just this. These don't really matter that much. This doesn't really matter that much. It's really just this. Um, so that means you don't really need books in her either, right? So that's pretty cool. Heals all allies by 7.5% of their HP and removes one random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. That's it. Bada boom, bada bang. Very good in clan boss. Doesn't do much damage there, but can really help you make a speed tune affinity friendly. You know, all affinities, because she just takes off all the debuffs. Takes off the slow, takes off the stun from a stun target. Really, really good. And, you know, things like Doom Tower, where there's a lot of annoying debuffs coming your way, she takes one off every turn. If you put her into a relentless set, you can have that go multiple times, you know. So, oh, and also don't forget 7.5% heal every turn. So that basically gives your team like 2.5 immortal sets, right? Worth of healing, that is. So every time she takes a turn, boom, does a nice little heal and removes a random debuff. Very good. All right, so that was the free to play account. Not too shabby, I'd say. Wow, didn't really expect that. I'm not really going for this fusion, by the way. So, it's not like I'm pushing for this. I'm pushing for this right here, right? So, if I do end up being able to do the fusion, I'll try to do the fusion, but I highly doubt that I will be able to do that still on this account. And to be fair, he looks, I mean, I don't know. He looks kind of goofy, doesn't he? I don't, this doesn't really feel like a raid character to me. It feels more like a World of Warcraft, maybe? A little too cartoony, in my opinion. That said, if he had an awesome kit, I wouldn't have cared at all, but I don't think his kit is that crazy. It's okay, don't get me wrong. He's okay, but yeah. Since we're not really going for him, I'm not really going to go over that kit much or anything. All right, and we're back on the main account here, as you can see. We have a little bit more playroom here. We don't have as many mystery shards. Not really sure where they all went. I think a bunch went to my training already, so yeah, I'm at 330. That's all mystery shard training. So we will be pulling all these ancients, even though they're only 20 points a pop. We don't really have the gems to buy any more, but we do have enough sacreds right here. Now, I do want to keep a certain amount to remain in the game for a guaranteed if they drop another one of those, which I'm sure they will for Christmas. I don't know what kind of guaranteed they will do, but I'm sure they'll pull some kind of rabbit out of their hat, right? So we will first do these ancients. I'm gonna on this account I'm gonna actually do Kymar. Having a second Duchess isn't bad. Absolutely not. It's really good. But I think the second Kymar will do me better. Like even in things like Doom Tower, where right now I'm using a Renegade to do some resets. That's gonna be one turn less for those runs if I have a second Kymar. I could also build like the second Kymar in a resistance build or something for arena, which is really good. I think generally having a second Kymar does a little more than having a second Duchess. The thing is that Duchess is also her main role is being a reviver, right? So I have enough revivers on my account right now. I have Alva, I have Pythion, I have Uko, I have Kayav, I have most of the revivers really. I recently just pulled the Raglan, so I mean we're pretty good when it comes to revivers. Now she's top tier revive. Okay, she's probably still the best one out there, mainly because of her passive. But I still feel like getting a second Chimer will probably do me better. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't have a bad Al yet, by the way. I don't have her yet, and I also don't have her. Don't really care about that, to be honest. These two are pretty cool, but um, still don't really care. I'd rather have the extra Chimer. So yeah, do a temp up first. Those have been going pretty well for us. What the hell? Ah, my second Molly. Well, I mean, hey, not complaining. That's pretty good for Hydra. So she also doesn't need that many books, if I recall correctly. No, she only needs, well, maybe. Depends. If you only land your A2 and your A3, you only need 5 books, which is pretty good. And otherwise you need 8 books. Well, oh, 9 books. 9 books. Sorry. You actually want this to be booked as well. So yeah, okay. You would need 6 books, and then yeah, this doesn't really matter that much. But why is she so good? Well, not this A1. Attacks one enemy, damage increased by 50% if the target is under HP burn. I've seen some crazy things with that, but that's not really the reason why you would build her, in my opinion. Um, One of the reasons why you would build her is this A2 places a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown. Places means no weak hitting, so basically in Hydra you can always provoke the Head of Decay if you don't 3%, of course. That's always the if, but let's assume that's just, you know. So normally she will always provoke the Head of Decay. It also has a 50% chance of doing it for 2 turns instead of 1 turn, which is fantastic. And places a reflect damage buff on this champion for 2 turns. That's fine, Yeah, on a 3-turn cooldown, she keeps Head of Decay busy. That's basically it, right? So you put her in, you don't really need another provoker if you have her. Like an extra provoker with someone like a husk with a provoke on the A1 or something is handy, but normally she can handle it herself. On Nightmare, I like to have some extra provokers, but you don't really need it if you have a Molly. This isn't her only greatness, though. Her A3 is revives an ally with 50% HP and fills their turn meter by 50%, places a block damage buff on that ally, so pops one champion back up, gives them block damage so they can't be killed immediately, gives them 50% HP so they can't be killed immediately, and puts them on their way 50% turn meter. This is on a 4-turn cooldown, but to be honest, like this is more like a backup revive, I'd say. Usually you'll play another reviver alongside her, like a Duchess or something like that, and she'll just be like the extra revive if you need it, or an Uko or something like that, right? But this is, it's handy, just a very handy extra thing that she has. But what is the real reason why she's very good? I mean, this is very good for decay, right? But this passive right here is basically good for everything. And it fills the turn meters of all allies by 15% when this champion is hit. Fills the turn meters of all allies by 25% when this champion is hit by a boss. Which, that happens all the time in Hydra, right? So you're basically what's happening is you're just every AoE that they're doing, you're getting 25% turn meter. All your champions. So, 4 times and boom, all your champions just took an extra turn basically, right? So this ability right here is just huge, really. So she's not really for damage or anything. At least I've seen this do a lot of damage, but I don't really recommend you build her like that. Um, the one I have right now built is actually in a relentless set. I don't know if that's correct, but it makes keeping control of the head of decay even easier because like she takes so many turns that she constantly locks down that head basically, right? But yeah, I'll take a second Molly, sure. Uh Good stuff. I think this also gives my Trunda plus 10% attack now. That's pretty interesting. All right. Man, we are on fire with these legendaries tonight, man. I don't know what's going on. It's like there's a 2x or whatever going on as well. Okay, so we pulled the Cryo Cryodan the blue, or however you pronounce that. Why is he actually good? He's one of the best Fire Knight hard champions, apparently. That is because of this A1, I think. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 35% chance of placing a freeze debuff. You can get that up to 40 if you have the mastery, right? Uh, that's that's a lot of chance of actually placing a freeze, and you need that instead of turn meter reduction for the hard Fire Knight, right? Because you need to place freezes instead of actual turn meter. So that's very handy for that. His A2, I actually use this champion on one of my alt accounts as a way to freeze a spiderlings and just normal dungeon spider unbooked at level 50. And this works because attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 45% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. That is a huge chance of freezing without even this on there, right? Without this 20% extra. With these two added to that, you're almost guaranteed to freeze, especially if you also have like the 5% extra from your masteries. It's not 100%. It can fail, but it's a big chance. And it's a 3-turn cooldown. Again, great control. Insane control, really. If you are looking for a way in Doom Tower to like control the waves, like this dude will do that with these 2 moves. And we're not there yet, because this A3 places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, also fills turn meters of all allies by 15%, 3-turn cooldown. This is like Apothecary, right? But big boy speed, right? For 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, fills turn meter, freezes the enemies in all possible ways, A1, A2, and just to top things off, fills this champion's turn meter by 5% for each freeze debuff placed by this champion. So not only are you placing freezes, speeding your team up, he just speeds himself up too by placing those freezes. Um, I think this is probably, arguably, I think this is the best epic that they created this year. I know that's a pretty big statement, but I think he's really good. Yeah, it's not much to say. I think he's just very good. So happy to add him to the team. I only have one. Wow, this like I feel like I'm less excited than I should be because I've been pulling so many good stuff really. Uh, and I think I'm just bummed out about that Cupidus, even though Cupidus is awesome, but like I could have had like a 15x for a champion that I maybe could have used. Um, have more use for is what I'm trying to say. But it's Cupidus. We'll take it. I don't think that account has Sacred Order cleared yet, so Ubitus will help there for sure. All right. Those were 19 of those. So I'm thinking here to go down to 18 right now. So I forgot to put in the Kaimar again. Luckily, we didn't pull a legendary. You know, this is so weird. Like, why would why would you put this in ancients, but you wouldn't put it in the sacreds too? Am I missing something? Is there a reason why you wouldn't want to do that? Like if I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but just ask me this once and use it for all the rarities, please. Like why do I have to do this every single time? Just ridiculous in my opinion, but all right. Enough rant. Bro, we are out of space again, dude. All right, that should be enough. There you go. Come on. Let's see. Can we pull any more? I mean, I don't really expect more. It's been a lot. Ruella, very good champion, obviously. Luria, hard hitting champion. Also has a pretty decent chance of freezing as well. That's that new dude we needed for fusion, right? I think he does a buff extender. Daithi, also very awesome champion. Takes a lot of extra turns, has decreased defense, increase attack on himself, increase accuracy on himself, extra turn. So chance of extra turn on A1, A3 extra turn. Put this guy relentless, and you can just see him popping off. You know, doing multiple turns in a row. And a Necro Hunter. Let's see where that puts us. We're gonna be close, but we're not gonna be there yet, I think. No, we need 400 more. Let's see. We get anything here? No. Hmm. Okay, so the thing is, we don't even have 400 mystery shards. I could pull 2 primals, but I'm actually thinking of saving primals for like, I don't know, maybe like save up 100 or something and then pull all 100 of them and hopefully then pull a mythical champion, right? Because right now there's also no extra chance for mythical, and I mean they're shards, they're primal shards. Like these are the shards where we're trying to get mythicals out of, right? So if there's not an increased chance on that, like why would I want these? Um, so I'm not gonna touch these, I don't think. But what am I gonna do then? Is the question. We could pull another sacred, go down to 17. Uh, or we pull a couple of voids. But voids is again, you know, it takes a while to get that guaranteed into that guaranteed range. So pulling these kind of feels bad as well. So I think I'm just gonna pull one of these extra. Yeah, let's just do one more of these and see what we get. Oh, that's actually one for the fusion. Delaja. She was one in a fusion, I believe. And now she is, if I'm not mistaken, for Lady Mikaj. Yeah, there you go. But apparently I already had one, so I need this one right there. Did we get any other ones? No, not really. Unfortunately. None of these either. On this account, I might actually just pick up the fusion, by the way. because, well, it's a little easier. It's more like if I want to, I probably can. Although I'm running pretty low on gems, I gotta say. So who knows? Maybe I can't really pick it up. We'll have to see. I'm not gonna be sad if I miss out on this fusion because I think Tormin is just way better. So yeah, I don't know. What was that? 4 legendaries on 2 accounts, with really not that many shards. So hey, that's a win for us today. Next week we're probably gonna do something in the lines of getting this guy into the game. 6-star Rhine Beast. We're gonna see what this guy can do. I'm pretty excited for it. Maybe it's just gonna be one big meme. It's probably gonna be one big meme, let's be real. But hey, it's gonna be a cool Christmas video, hopefully. So if you wanna see that, make sure to pass by next week Sunday, and yeah, hope you guys have a nice rest of the week, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.